Mr. Calderon está ahí abajo like he owns the place.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of high school football here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Also on KINL 92.7 tonight. Thank you for joining us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. Tonight, the San Marcos Rattlers come in to face the Eagles. Still not district season for the Eagles, finishing up their pre-district schedule. The Rattlers come in at 0-4 this for the season, and as we bring in our broadcasting partner Morris Lipson Jr. Morris, we talked to the coaching staff on Wednesday at the prediction show. This is one that the Rattlers have circled on their calendars because of what happened last year in San Marcos, where the Eagles had a phenomenal comeback to beat them. So even though there were no 0-4 teams, they're dangerous, and the Eagles have to be careful tonight.
Most certainly, San Marcos coming into Eagle Pass tonight, and of course, hungers for a victory. They're 0-4. The Eagles doing well so far this season, and continue to with their non-district schedule before they start district, which will be pretty soon here. The Eagles will be open next week, and then head into district play by traveling to Alexander on a Thursday night. But as the Rattlers come in on the far side of the field, and the Eagles right here, right below us on the home side.
Eagles wearing those home orange uniforms, orange tops, orange pants, and the white helmets. We do want to take some time at the top of the broadcast to thank the sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Balde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Sarita's Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, or Honor Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jad Harper, Attorney at Law, Tammany Insurance, Chapala Group, Churches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Mello State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, and Reese and Associates. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Center, we want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancida Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, and Churches Barbecue. We want to thank all of them for making these broadcasts possible. We see the numbers every week as folks join us, not just from here in Eagle Pass, but from all over the state and all over the country, partner. We've got folks joining us from as far east as South Carolina, the Midwest, and Missouri, where I've got a couple of folks that listen in out on the West Coast. So we've got a national audience here on Eagle Pass Sports.
We do, and a lot of people are listening. There's Eagle Pass Eagles or Eagle Pass natives just all over the world. And, of course, we give them a way of watching it either on YouTube or on Eagle Pass Sports Central Facebook broadcast. And then if you're local and in the area, of course, on KINL 92.7.
Two men back to receive this kickoff for the Eagles. It's Pepe Hernandez and Sebastian Diaz back there, standing at about their 10-yard line. We've got what I'm going to call beautifully done out programs here by hand by our audiovisual engineer here in the booth, as San Marcos didn't get any rosters to us in time here, but
we're going to have to give her a raise.
I think she's due for one, certainly. Certainly having to put up with me is enough to get a good raise from Eagle Pass Sports Central.
Not to mention her uncle.
Number 25, it looks like, 26 with a kick, a very short one, and it goes out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. The flag will come in, and so the Eagles will have very good opening field position.
Very unique by San Marcos. They bunched all around the football at the kickoff like they were going to onside kick it, and then all of a sudden they went ahead and went into a regular kickoff formation, and then actually – not a very good kickoff as it went out of bounds and didn't go very far.
It's going to be interesting to see. We were looking at some of the scores from the season, and San Marcos, a porous defense, have had over 60 points stacked on them twice this season. Last week, they lost against Laredo Alexander 31-24. That's their closest game of the season. And so we'll see what this high-flying Eagle offense is able to do. I think they're lining up for a re-kick maybe here.
Well, they're going to maybe
here comes the offense. Now, I didn't see an offensive line out there.
Well, the ball's the 30.
Still don't. Here comes the offensive line. After the penalty, the ball will start at the 30 for the Eagles. And we see number 5.
Look at our play clock.
I think they're going to reset it maybe.
There you go.
Eagles will start at the 30-yard line as we are underway here at the SEC. Andy Garcia, the quarterback, starts going deep for Pepe Hernandez, streaking down the near sideline. Passes incomplete as there was single coverage down here on Pepe Hernandez, and the ball just out of his reach.
Hernandez tries an over-the-shoulder catch on really a well-thrown pass. It was just difficult, and it went off of his fingertips.
So 2nd and 10 now from the 30 for the Eagles. Ball is on the near hash mark. 2 receivers to the far side of the formation, 1 here to the near side. Garcia takes the snap. Pass is caught at the 36-yard line by Willie Frausto. And it'll be a 2nd and about 3 now from the 37.
Ruben, we're going to see a very talented receiving corps tonight for the Eagle Pass Eagles. They really have some really sure-handed receivers and some good hands.
And it is 5 receivers across the formation here. Garcia rolls right, still looking downfield. He's got Pepe Hernandez, and the pass is caught at the 30-yard line in San Marcos territory. He did it the second time, partner. Over the shoulder catch for a big Eagle first down at the San Marcos 31.
And the coverage was actually good. He had a man right on him, so an excellent catch by Pepe Hernandez down the sideline here.
5 men across the formation again. No one in the backfield with Andres Garcia. Here's the snap. Little pass to the flat intended for Willie Frausto out of his hands and incomplete. And it'll be a 2nd and 10 now from actually the 29.
Good to see Andy Andres Garcia back at quarterback. He was out with some recovering from some injuries, and he is back at the helm of the Eagle Pass Eagles.
Offensive coordinator Javier Cárdenas made sure to tell us this week at the prediction show that Javier Barrera did an excellent job in substituting the past couple of weeks for Andres Garcia. Here's a keeper by Garcia. He's got coming right. Has blockers in front of him, inside the 15 and down to near the 10-yard line. They'll spot him right at the 10 on the quarterback run, and it's a 1st and goal for the Eagles.
He faked that an inside handoff to the man coming across, going to the far side of the field. Then he kept it right up the middle. They really were trying to strip him of the football.
They were coming after the football. Here's Willie Frausto in motion again. Garcia looks left, and he's got a touchdown on a slant to Sebas Diaz. Sebastian Diaz comes in for about 4 yards deep into the end zone from the left side of the formation, and the Eagles are on the board 6-0 with 10:52 showing in the first quarter.
What a fine pass route by Sebastian Diaz coming across the middle. Looked like he was man-to-man, and then all of a sudden he opened up some separation, and the pass was just perfect.
Lázaro Frausto will come in for the point after attempt. Leckler's the holder. The kick is on his way, and it is good. And the Eagles, with 10:52 here in the first quarter, have a 7-0 lead. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. Seven to nothing is the Eagle lead with 10:52 in the first quarter. Lázaro Frausto will be kicking off. Only one man back for San Marcos, number 8, Fabian Castañeda, the wide receiver. And the kickoff is on its way. It is a short kick, and it will head out of bounds at about the 5, and another flag coming in. And so San Marcos also will start at their own 30-yard line.
One of those kicks that sort of angles off, but it was pretty deep over at around the 20-yard line. You're kind of hoping it will hit on the far sideline and hop and stay in bounds and over there in the coffin corner, but it doesn't happen.
And so on the far side of the field, ball goes out of bounds. Here comes the Eagle defense, which has been doing a good job so far this season. The Eagles have only one loss so far in the season, up at Bernie, the second week of the season. Other than that, they have been victorious in all of their games. Last week they were in Alice against Edinburgh North, one of the Valley teams. This is a home and home. The Eagles went to San Marcos last year, came out with a last-second victory. Quarterback will be number 12, Nicandro Quintanilla. Well, it looks like number 1, actually. Down there. Man in motion, the handoff is to number 21, who's got a bunch of room at the 45, midfield, still on his feet. Last man to beat, brought him down at the 40-yard line. Not showing a 21 on our roster, so that young man with a good run at the Eagle 40.
And number 21 for the Eagles made the tackle. That was Armando Leclerc, who, like you mentioned, was about the last line of defense we had against him breaking it all the way to the end zone.
San Marcos offense now at the 40-yard line, ball on the far hash mark. Quarterback in the shotgun, waits for the snap. Here's another handoff. This time it's number 33, and he's got a bunch of room in front of him and in for the touchdown. Number 33, Matthew Ellis, the scat back with the touchdown, and San Marcos Morris answers very quickly, and they are on the board now. 7-6 is the score.
Not a good, never a good idea to take an 0-4 team lightly, and I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments made on the Eagle defense.
A touchdown on a drive that took only about 50 seconds. 10:04 showing on the clock. On for the point after attempt is number 26. The kick is up and good. And just like that, with under 2 minutes wound on the clock, we have a tie score, 7-7, between the Eagles and the San Marcos Rattlers. We'll take a brief break and we'll be right back. Seven to 7 is the score. Very early on in this ball game, 10:04 left in the first quarter still, and the Eagles are about to get the ball back on this kickoff after the touchdown by the San Marcos Rattlers. Matthew Ellis with that touchdown. Sebas Diaz and Pep Hernandez back there to receive. This will be returned by Diaz. He's coming this way now, fakes the handoff to Pep Hernandez, has room at the 20, 30, now cuts upfield as he crosses the 30. And he'll be brought down at the 32-yard line, and the Eagles will start there.
He went to the opposite side of the field and actually came this way and faked the handoff to Pepe going the other way, and one man did stay home over here near to the near sideline, and that's who made the tackle.
He was able to get that ball all the way to the 33. And that is where the Eagles will start. Andres Garcia in the pistol formation, moves Pepe Hernandez in motion. The handoff is to the running back. He'll get stood up as he nears the 34. No gain, though, to the line of scrimmage, the 33. That's number 26, Cadrian Rodriguez with the carry. And it's a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. .9:32 left in the first in a tie ball game. Garcia now into shotgun again with Cadrian Rodriguez on his left. Fakes the handoff. Right down the middle he goes to this side. And very good coverage there on Pepe Hernandez by the San Marcos defensive back. And that now very quickly brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Eagle offense.
That was number 13. We don't have him on our roster. So, but 1-on-1, good coverage there.
3rd and 10, ball on the near hash mark at the 32-yard line. Garcia into shotgun, has 3 receivers to the far side. Here comes Willie Frausto in motion to the near side of the formation. Garcia rolls left, has his eyes downfield. Looks down there. He's got a man open. Oh, the pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Sebastian Velasquez. Just a bit underthrown, maybe. Velasquez had to come back for it, Morris, but he was right there.
He had 2 or 3 steps on the defensive back. The ball slightly underthrown, and that the defensive back cut in front of him as he tried to go back for that ball, and he took his eye off of it for a split second.
Just enough blockage there by the defensive back to cause a little confusion. Eagles will punt this ball now. Leckler with a high punt. It's a short kick that will come out of bounds near midfield. We're going to see where they spot this. It's going to be in Eagle territory at the 49-yard line. Good starting field position for San Marcos with 9:02 left in the first quarter. We're going to keep it right here as the San Marcos offense comes onto the field. And you talked about it, Morris. This Eagle defense has to make some adjustments now. 2 runs was all it took in the first offensive possession for San Marcos to get them into the end zone.
And special teams always important. That punt actually went off the side of his foot. You had Coach Tom Gonzalez over here watching it on the near sideline as it sailed out of bounds, and you saw that official keep walking up all the way to the 49-yard line.
And so they're going to spot this
they put
at
it
midfield. That's where San Marcos will start. Here's another handoff going to the right side of the line. Diego Villarreal is giving chase, but quickly the man has a first down.
Fumble.
There's a fumble over by the 30-yard line, and I think the Eagles have recovered. They have, and the first turnover of the game, that was number 8 with the carry, Isaiah Young, and Young puts it on the ground at the 30. The Eagle offense now comes back onto the field.
You know, Ruben, the Eagle defensive back, and there was a bunch of them over there, just as he was trying to get more yardage on the far sideline, reached over there and hooked his arm around that football and popped it out.
And so the Eagles are back on offense here at the 30-yard line. Garcia in the shotgun in the backfield by himself, takes the snap, quick pass to Sebas Diaz. It's caught at the 41-yard line, and Diaz is down all the way to the 45, and here come the Eagles quickly to the line.
The Eagles will do that on you. They'll set up a series of offensive downs where they come up to the line very quickly.
Garcia again in the shotgun by himself, drops back to pass. Here's a pass again intended for Diaz, just out of reach, out of the outstretched arms of Sebas Diaz. And it'll be an incompletion. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
The defensive back then before got away with a little one there. It looked like just right early. He sort of was right with him and latched onto him a little bit, slowed him down, but there's no flag.
The Eagles are stretching the field, no doubt about it, here in this game. Again, this is San Marcos defense that has given up over 60 points twice this season. Here comes Diaz in motion. It's a quarterback keeper. Garcia has room. He's at the 45, at the 40, hits to the far sideline at the 30, and he will go out of bounds over on the far side of the field, but into San Marcos territory at the 29-yard line.
Once again, Garcia faked the inside handoff to his running back, to his receiver coming toward the near sideline and then just took off over the right side of his line.
Outstanding job by Andy Garcia there, taking it all the way to the 29-yard line. Again, Andy Garcia will be in the backfield by himself. 3 receivers here to the near side, 2 over on the far side of the field. Man in motion, comes to the near side. There's the snap. Garcia looks downfield. The pass, it's caught inside the 20-yard line by Emilio Mendoza, senior wide receiver. And this ball will be spotted at the 18. It's a first down for the Eagles.
And the Eagles in the red zone very quickly after the Rattler turnover.
Ball is on the far hash mark now. 8:02 left in the first quarter. This is the Eagles' third offensive possession of the ball game after a fumble from the San Marcos running back. The Eagles have slowed the tempo down a little bit here. Here's a pass into the end zone, and it's caught by Sebas Diaz with a man all over him, and the Eagles have their second touchdown. The score now 13-7.
You had Garcia froze the linebackers with a really good fake to the running back and then just stood right up in the pocket and fired it across the middle.
That score comes with 7:40 in the first quarter. The second touchdown connection between Andy Garcia and Sebas Diaz. Lázaro Frausto now will come on for the point after attempt. Armando Leckler is the holder. The kick is on its way, and it is good. And the Eagles now, with 7:40 left in the first quarter, have a 14-7 lead. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. One man deep to receive for San Marcos, number 9, not on our roster. Lázaro Frausto will be kicking off for the Eagles. 14-7 is the Eagle lead. Number 9 will await the kickoff. It's actually number 8 there, Isaiah Young. Kick is on its way. It'll be a short kick that bounces in front of one of the up men at the 15-yard line, but this is the man who scored the touchdown, number 33, Matthew Ellis. And Ellis Morris had enough presence of mind to pick that up and run towards the far sideline and actually got San Marcos into pretty good field position at the 40-yard line.
Yes, he did, all the way to the 40-yard line, where the Rattlers will set up their offensive series from there. No, I was sitting here thinking you all, of course, are always interested in the Eagle Band for obvious reasons. But right after that score, the Eagle Band strikes up the Eagle War Hymn.
The Eagle War Cry, a very unique
Eagle War Cry.
Very unique fight song composed many, many years ago for Eagle Pass High School. Here's a handoff to number 21. He'll be met at about the 42-yard line. He'll push the pile forward to the 45.
Eagle,
5-yard gain there.
Eagle defense has got to fill up those gaps. That our secondary should not be having to make those tackles on those runs.
2nd and 5 from the 45 for San Marcos. Ball is on the far hash mark. We haven't seen much of a passing game at all from the Rattlers here. It's been all on the ground, and there are 2 men in the backfield along with the quarterback here. They'll move number 22, Stefan Stennett, over to the right. Here's a pass attempt, and it is caught at the 46-yard line by number 2, not on our roster. And that ball is at the 46-yard line in Eagle territory now, and it's a San Marcos first down.
There to make the tackle Number 13, Danny Martinez for the Eagle Pass Eagles.
Ball again on the far hash mark. 1st and 10 from there. 2 receivers over to the far side. Here is a keeper for the quarterback. Rolls right, looking for someone downfield, still looking to pass, and the pass is incomplete as he had 2 Eagle defenders in his face. And that pass falls incomplete. Diego Rodriguez, the defensive end, one of the men applying pressure there.
You know, that was dangerously close to being there was no receiver actually within 10 yards of where he threw that ball. But he was out of the pocket, though.
Close to intentional grounding. You're right, threw it to empty space. Just had to get rid of it with that Eagle pressure in his face. 2nd and 10 now from the 46-yard line for the Rattlers. Quarterback will put a man in motion coming into the near side. There's movement along the right side of the Rattler line. The Eagle defensive linemen were quick to point that out, and it's going to cost the Rattlers 5 yards.
At 2 or 3 of the front 4 of the Eagle Pass Eagles defensively pointed that out and helped the official make that call.
It'll be a 1st and 15, or 2nd and 15 now from back in San Marcos territory at the 49. Ball on the far hash mark. The Rattler offense will come to the line of scrimmage. 3 men in the backfield. Looked like lots of motion before then, and yep, they caught them again. It looked like the 2 running backs started actually before the snap there.
So San Marcos is really shooting themselves in the foot here after they had already crossed midfield and were in Eagle territory.
This will be a 2nd and 20 now, all the way back here at the 44-yard line for San Marcos. And the Eagle defense has a little bit more breathing room now. 5:55 left in the first quarter. 2nd and 20 coming up for San Marcos. Quarterback drops back, steps up in the pocket, lets a pass go, and it's through the hands of a man that was open there, number 2 for San Marcos. And the Eagle defense, lucky there that pass was red hot for the wide receiver. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 20 now.
Number 2 actually was in the seam in our defensive secondary, and luckily that he threw that slightly behind him and it zoomed by him.
And so it'll be a 3rd and 20 now with 5:41 left in the first quarter. Ball on the far hash mark. Again, a loaded backfield for San Marcos. 2 receivers over on the far side, 1 near here. And we're going to have an official's timeout called. For some reason, Morris is looking through the binoculars to see what the officials are going to talk about over there.
I'm a good lip reader.
The officials are gathered at about the 44. It doesn't look like this is a timeout by either team. We saw the referee point to himself, indicating an official's timeout. And I'm not sure what the stoppage in play is about here. We've got 5:41 left in the first quarter. The Eagles are up 14-7.
Are they maybe talking about whether it's 3rd down? Because
it should be 3rd down.
I think
Get an official announcement here.
There you go. That's what I thought. I was thinking that on 1st down, there was two consecutive penalties.
That's right.
And they went to 2nd down, and on the incomplete, they went to 3rd down. And luckily, one of the officials caught that.
So it will be 2nd down in 20. They'll stop play again before the snap.
The question is, are you sure?
After all of that,
you've got Tom Gonzalez over here, trying to talk to an official, and you've got David Chisholm talking to an official over here, another Eagle coach at about the 35.
2nd and 20 for the Rattlers. Quarterback takes a deep drop, and the pass is caught at the 40-yard line, and that young man is going to need some help. He's going to go off the field by himself. It was caught by number 2, who's not on our roster, but he got hit hard, Morris, right sandwiched in between 2 Eagles right as he caught the pass. And the head coach for San Marcos is asking the officials for a personal foul
for
flag.
A targeting. And the young man, got hit, went down, and he immediately, as he got up, took his helmet off and headed for the sideline like saying, hey, I got hit in the helmet.
And San Marcos is going to get caught for a hold, which will not make their coaches any happier. But number 2 over there, we can see all the way from up here, is looking woozy on the sideline. His head coach has an arm around him.
And he's trying to get the official to go over there to see number 2 about if maybe he's bleeding or something. I don't know. I'm speculating. But he's trying to tell him, hey, look where he got hit.
He's asking for the referee to come over and talk to him. I don't know that the referee is going to do that. It doesn't look like the referee here is inclined. Now San Marcos is going to call a timeout, and I think the head coach will use that to get his attention. Now it's happening, and he says, take a look at my kid. He got his bell rung. That's what they used to call it, of course. And he's going to advocate hard. In the meantime, with the penalty, the ball's going to end up all the way back here at the 34-yard line.
And it'll be 2nd and 30. And, second, and that's what – how
about
much
30.
About 30. 10, 20, 30, about 31 yards.
This is our 5th consecutive second down. All of the previous second downs have been wiped up. The referee's going to come here and
they sent out a captain, number 79, to come talk to the officials, and they are really, really working this, trying to get a targeting call on this. And now the key is going to be here after all that, and of course the young man's health is important. We got to make sure he's not hurt. But after all of that, it's going to be important if he stays in the ballgame.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see. Now, he did take his helmet off before leaving the field, so he should have to sit out one play. But we saw it from up here. He kind of did crumble to the ground.
Yes.
The defenders arrived at the same time as the football is what happened, and they did kind of crunch him in between. But there was no call from the officials. The referee is talking it over now with his umpire.
And he is staying in the ballgame, number 2.
He will be split out wide right in this formation. And after all of that, still with 5:15 left in the first quarter, it's a 2nd and 30 for the Rattlers. Handoff is to number 21. He'll be brought down quickly as he crosses the 35-yard line to the 37.
Number 15, Diego Rodriguez, had good penetration, grabbed onto his jersey and held on and spun him around. And we do have a San Marcos player down at about the 35.
It's going to be still a 3rd and long, 3rd and 27 from the line of scrimmage, but they're going to take a look at one of the linemen for San Marcos who's down on the field.
In fact, that is the center. And he is down. He has not turned around. They look like they're working on his left leg or ankle. Now they're turning him over.
And we'll use that time to mention sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valdebecker Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, RNR Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jed Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabaney Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, and Reese and Associates. For Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ansita Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, and Choches Barbecue. The center for San Marcos, Nathan Lopez, up under his own power now, limping heavily as he goes off over on the far side of the field.
While all that was going on, I looked at there's 5 minutes still left in the first quarter, and it's quite a change for us because when you watch Maverick football and Nixon football that we did last week before the big we got rained out.
The monsoon partner that you and I had to wade through.
But really, the clock not running much.
Yeah. Now, this is a 7 o'clock kickoff. Still have 5:04 left in the first quarter. The quarterback will roll right, lets the pass go. It's caught at midfield, and then the ball is on the ground. They're going to call it incomplete. Number 8 there, number 2 rather. And the ball is incomplete, and so the punting team for the Rattlers on a long drive. This drive started with 7:33 for San Marcos. Now under 5 minutes, and they went backwards on this drive. The ball now is at the 37-yard line. They will punt from there, 2-man deep to receive. Pepe Hernandez and Sebas Diaz back here. One man, that's Pepe Hernandez at the near hash mark at about the 25, and Sebas Diaz at the 20-yard line. The punt is on its way, and it'll be fielded by Pepe Hernandez at the 26-yard line. Cuts right. He's met by the coverage team as he approaches the 35, and he'll move the pile forward to the 37, where the Eagles will get started.
You know, partner, the Rattlers kind of shot themselves in the foot there with the penalties and all of those illegal motion, but the Eagle defense did well in that series. So the Eagles offense now in good shape.
It can be difficult keeping your cool and keeping your head when all of those penalties are going on, but a good job by the Eagle defense of stopping San Marcos there. Here's a handoff to Cadrian Rodriguez. He's got a full head of steam as he hits the 41-yard line. He'll be dragged down to the 42.
He goes over the right side of the line, and it looks like he's just about one block away from getting into the defensive secondary and really turning it into a long run.
And he's got some speed on him. If he can get in open space, he can do some damage. Ball at the 42-yard line, 2nd and 5 from there with 4:18 left in the first quarter. For the Eagles, 2 men here to this side of the formation, one split out wide left. That's Willie Frausto in motion. The ball will go to him. He'll try to turn the corner on the near side, then bounce it all the way outside, and he is in San Marcos territory before being escorted out of bounds on the far sideline at the 39-yard line.
Very well put. That's you had 2 or 3 defenders that escorting him out of bounds on the far side after he had cut the corner. Mm-hmm. And Frausto with deceiving speed. Here they come up with a hurry-up offense.
Quickly to the 39-yard line. Garcia drops back to pass. Now steps up in the pocket. Lets the pass go. It's a dangerous one to Willie Frausto, who had a man all over him there, number 3 for San Marcos. But it falls incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
As you mentioned, that is a dangerous pass that he hurried to throw it, and that gave the defender over the middle a lot of time to be in really good position.
Ball will remain at the 39 on the far hash mark. That's Willie Frausto and Pepe Hernandez here on the near side. Sebas Diaz split out wide left over on the far side of the formation, and 2 men in the backfield with Andres Garcia. He'll put the running back in motion. That pass is caught by Sebas Diaz on the far side, and he's able to turn it upfield and get to the 35-yard line, a gain of 4 yards on the play, and it's going to be a 3rd and 6 coming up now for the Eagles from the 35, just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Another player that was shaken up from the Rattlers on the far side, but he was right by the sideline and immediately went off the field, so no timeout on the field.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Here comes Emilio Mendoza, the senior wide receiver, into the formation. They'll have trips to the left side and 2 receivers here. No one in the backfield with Andy Garcia. There's the snap. Looks right. Immediately lets the pass go. And there was some miscommunication there with his receivers as Willie Frausto was running a go route. And Andres Garcia was, I think, expecting him to run a hitch. That pass falls incomplete.
And our 2 receivers, actually, one of them, messed up on their pass route because they were really right next to each other here on the near side of the field.
And the Eagles will call their first timeout of the half with 3:09 left in the first quarter. Eagles are up 14-7. They've got a decision to make on 4th down, and we'll be right back. 4th and 6 for the Eagles. The offense stays on the field, man in motion. Andy Garcia in the backfield all by himself, takes the snap. He trips up, still on his feet though, looking downfield. Lets the pass go, and it's caught in the end zone by Willie Frausto. We're going to see if Andres Garcia was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that. The line of scrimmage is the 35, and he was very close to it. There's a flag on the field over on the far side, and yeah, that's what it's going to be. An illegal man downfield is the call from the official. So it'll wipe out the touchdown.
Is that a loss of down?
We'll see if it's a loss of down. The referee will come and tell us here.
No, interesting question at this point. Do you punt? Try to get it in the inside the 5-yard line or something like that and that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, it looks like head coach Tom Gonzalez is going to opt to play the field position game and try to pin the Rattlers deep here. Leckler, who punted the first time around, is coming off the field, and Willie Frausto will come on now to attempt a punt. 2 men back to receive for San Marcos, standing inside their own 10-yard line. Here is the punt on its way. It will be, it's going to bounce and take a good Eagle bounce inside the 15. The return man slipped right as he approached the ball. It's number 8, Isaiah Young. And the ball bounced around inside the 20, and the gambit pays off here for Coach Tom Gonzalez.
Besides slipping, I think he had second thoughts about coming up, and then he let it bounce, and it had a good Eagle bounce there.
He made, as they say, a business decision to not take on the Eagle tacklers that were headed his way. 2:50 left here in the first quarter. Ball is at the 13 yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Handoff is to the running back, still on his feet at the 20, comes here to the near side at the 25-30, finally tripped up as he crosses the 30. Matthew Ellis, the man who scored the touchdown for the Rattlers, had some running room, and he gets all the way to the 31-yard line.
Number 33, Ellis, really has to be reckoned with because he looks like he's got excellent speed, and he's got breakaway speed,
Yep.
So we have to get to him and bring him down early.
Once he's out in the open is when he's dangerous. The Rattlers have a first down at the 31, ball on the near hash mark. New running back in on the hip pocket of the San Marcos quarterback. Quick pass caught by number 2 at the 30, and then he quickly heads upfield. And then he gets brought down as he crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line.
And number 2, again, as he was hit low and then hit high. And again, they thought the hit was high up in his face mask area. And, of course, he gets up wanting a targeting call. And he did not get it. The coach is over there talking to him, probably telling him, hey, let the officials call the ball game and you play the ball game.
Ball at the 41-yard line on the near hash mark. Pistol formation now in the backfield for the Rattlers. One man on either side of the line. Quick pass caught by number 8 near midfield, and it'll be brought down in Eagle territory now. Number 42, Diego Villarreal, with the tackle. And the Rattlers have another first down now on the Eagle side of the field at the 47.
And the Rattlers are on the move.
Again, a handoff to number 21. He'll near the 40 before being brought down at the 41-yard line. It'll be second and about 4 from there.
Number 42, Diego Villarreal, latched onto him and helped bring him down. But one thing that we are noticing is that the Eagle defense is going to have to close those gaps. The Rattler running game is doing well.
They are gashing that Eagle
There's a
defense
penalty.
for now. 1:05 left in the
wow.
first quarter. And there's something going on the other side, on the far side of the field.
Well, that is a actually they were offsetting penalties, both of them for personal foul.
So the ball will remain at the 41-yard line. Game that's getting a little chippy between the Eagles and the Rattlers. We hope everyone's able to keep their head, keep their cool down there, and get through this game safely for everybody. Neither of these teams are in district play yet. The Eagles, you mentioned it, partner, open next week, and then we'll start with their district season. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 men in the backfield for the Rattlers. Quarterback will take the snap. The handoff here is again to Ellis. This time he gets bottled up as he nears the 40, a gain of only a yard.
Really good job by the Eagle defense. That time they did fill the gap and held him for practically no gain.
3rd and 3 now for the Rattlers from the 40-yard line. 35 seconds left in what's been a long first quarter for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Clock winding down on the first quarter here as we are 15 minutes away from the 8 o'clock hour. Ball on the 40. 3 men in the backfield for the Rattler offense. Here's a handoff again, and there's a running lane there and more for number 21, who's going to get inside to 35 and get a Rattler first down all the way to the 33-yard line. Gain of 7 yards there. It's a San Marcos first down. Once they wind the clock, I don't think they'll have time to run another play. There's 9 seconds left in the third quarter. They will not run another play. They're going to switch sides of the field. And at the end of the first quarter, the Eagles have a 14-7 lead, and we'll be right back after a quick break. It's the start of the second quarter. The Eagles have a 14-7 lead. Ball is at the 33-yard line where San Marcos has a 1st and 10. Not much going there for the running back, number 21. He'll lose a yard. Back to the 34.
Actually, he slipped, and number 23, Adrian Rodriguez, was right there to help him out on his way down to the turf.
Be a 2nd and 11 now. 2nd and 11, yeah, for the Rattlers with the ball at the 34-yard line. Eagle defense after that problematic first drive where San Marcos scored in 2 plays has come up big, and there's another example of that. Fighting through that block is number 25 for the Eagles, Isar Mauricio, and he brings down Ellis at the line of scrimmage.
What a nice job by Isar Mauricio, who actually, like you mentioned, had a defensive man really putting a block on him, and he reached out there and grabbed onto at least a piece of jersey to hold on and pull him down.
And so that will be a loss of another yard. The ball now at the 35-yard line where it'll be a 3rd and 12 for the Rattlers.
Little confusion there.
Offensively, the man finally finds his slot on the right-hand side. Quarterback drops back. There's the pass. It's caught, I think, right at the line to get for a first down. And he's maybe a yard shy, it looks like, from the spot. And his helmet comes off again, does number 2. And he's in the official's ear now.
We don't see anything unusual about that. I think it's just, he's going to work that and keep working that and keep
Yeah.
working that.
Ball's at the 24. The San Marcos offense is going to stay on the field. They need a yard to get a first down on the far hash mark. 3 men in the backfield along with the quarterback. 1 receiver on either side of the formation. It's a handoff to Ellis, and Ellis will dive forward for a first down. Ball is at the 21-yard line now. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers.
Number 21, Armando Leclerc, actually tried to guess where he was coming through and just barely missed him in the backfield as he dove forward to get the first down.
Leclerc did a good job of shooting the gap, but Ellis was able to move aside and dive forward for a Rattler first down. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Quarterback awaits the snap. It's a handoff. It's a keeper, actually. Rolls right, and that pass falls incomplete at about the 12-yard line, intended over there for number 8. That could be Fabian Castañeda, maybe.
We're a little confused because we have multiple numbers on our
There's 3 number 8s, 3 number 1s, 3 12s.
On our makeshift roster.
9:35 left in the first half. San Marcos trying to score again to even up the score. Eagles have a 14-7 lead. Handoff is to number 7 this time, Fernando Hernandez, and he'll get to inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
Ruben, I think just by the body language out there, there's probably a lot of little chatter down there. I'm not going to say it's trash talk, but there's a lot going on between these two teams down there.
Certainly seems like it from up in the booth. We've got a 3rd and 2 from the 13-yard line for the Rattlers. From the shotgun formation, there's the snap, the handoff again to Fernandez, and he's got room on the left side of the line. And he quickly gets to the 5-yard line. Fernando Hernandez, and it is a 1st and goal from there for the San Marcos Rattlers.
So in a 14-7 ball game, the touchdown that we had called back is now looking huge so far in this first half.
It's big because the Rattlers are knocking on the door here, 5 yards away from a touchdown and possibly evening the score against the Eagles. From the 5, quarterback into shotgun. The handoff is to Ellis. Ellis bounces around, gets north and south, and into the end zone for the Rattler touchdown.
Ellis, very shifty. He's, looking for just exactly where to go through, and he pretty much, danced into the end zone.
14-13 is the score for now, with the point after attempt coming up. That score comes with 8:05 left in the second quarter. Here is the point after attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. And so we are all even now at 14 with 8:05 left in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
We got deep.
Sebas Diaz and Pepe Hernandez back there waiting on this kickoff at about their 13, 14-yard line. Number 26 will be kicking off for the Rattlers. We've got a tied game here as the 0-4 Rattlers are putting up a fight here against the Eagles. This catch will be fair caught. It's a short kick at the 27-yard line over there. Sebastian Velasquez with the catch. And here come the Eagles now at the 28-yard line. Garcia puts Frausto in motion.
Oh.
Low snap. It's on the ground. Garcia picks it up, rolls to his left, and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more to the 29.
Garcia was actually looking at his running back that was on his side to his side when the ball kind of, the center realized he shouldn't have snapped it and it sort of rolled out of there,
Right to Garcia's waiting hands, and he was able to come to this side and get about a yard. 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Garcia takes the snap. The handoff is to Cadrian Rodriguez.
Oh.
The ball is loose, and it's going to be picked up on the scoop. Still on his feet is number 16 as he heads towards the end zone. And after that fumble and recovery, the Rattlers are in business deep in Eagle territory. Looks like number 5 there with the recovery. Couldn't get a number on him. But nevertheless, it's going to be a 1st and goal for San Marcos after that fumble recovery. See where they spot this ball. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 6.
That fumble actually, when it came out, went forward right to the defensive back, and he was able to just scoop it up on the run.
And so the Rattlers start at the 6-yard line. Their offense wasn't expecting to get the ball back, and so they're having to huddle over on the far side of the field. Here comes the offense now, and the Eagle defense is in a tough spot here, having to defend a very short field. From the 6, ball in the far hash mark to receivers over to the short side of the field. No one split out wide right here to the right. The counter to Ellis. Ellis heads towards the end zone, and he's dragged down from behind just inside the 5-yard line by Gunnar Caballero.
What a fine job by Gunnar Caballero, who came from across the field. And like you mentioned, caught him from behind, coming from the opposite side of the field.
A gain of only a yard there. 2nd and goal from the 4 for San Marcos. 7:19 left in the second quarter. They'll wind the clock. Man in motion in the backfield all the way to the near side. The counter here to number 21. And he'll bowl into the end zone for the San Marcos touchdown. And the Rattlers have taken the lead. Number 2 with the touchdown. 7:06 left in the first half. And the score for now, San Marcos 20, Eagles 14.
And the turnover inside the 20-yard line was really costly for the Eagles.
The Rattlers score on 2 plays after that turnover. Here is the point after attempt. The kick is up and good. And the score now is 21-14 in favor of the Rattlers. With 7:06 left in the second quarter, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Here is the kickoff, a very short one that will be fielded at the 20-yard line by Sebas Diaz. He tosses it over to Pepe Hernandez on a dangerous toss, and now Pepe is caught by the San Marcos coverage team over on the far side of the field, and the Eagles will start at the 21 or so.
That was a little dangerous, he sort of tossed the ball at him like a pitch out type deal. And luckily Pepe Hernandez was able to get it, but lost valuable time in getting a hold of the football.
Lots of coverage over on that side of the field. Sebastian Diaz might have had some room if he kept coming here to the near side. Ball on the far hash mark at the 21-yard line. Andres Garcia is in the shotgun. He's going to put Willie Frausto in motion. New running back in the backfield with him. The handoff is to Willie Frausto. Comes to the near side, 25-30, still on his feet as he turns the corner, and finally taken out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
So the Eagles looking to come back. They've got about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to get back in this ball game.
Ball on the near hash mark now. Garcia in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks left. Here's the pass, caught at the 42-yard line by Sebastian Velasquez. And Velasquez quickly out of bounds, just a yard shy of the first down at the 44.
And quickly up to the line of scrimmage come the Eagle Pass Eagles.
At the 43, 2nd and 2 now. Here is Garcia, lets it go, and it's caught by Sebas Diaz, who's on his feet still and into Rattler territory. That ball partner was this close from being picked off, and Diaz fought for it and then had a bunch of running room down the sideline.
Came down the sideline, had one man to beat. And here's the Eagles very quickly up to the line of scrimmage.
At the 25, ball on the near hash mark. Garcia takes the snap, rolls right, looking downfield. There's the pass. It's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Wilfredo Frausto. Be a 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles.
And you've got Frausto over there talking to the other Eagle receiver over there, like maybe they got a little crossed over there. So what they were supposed to do, and the other receiver, of course, being Pepe Hernandez on that far side.
Willie Frausto and Pepe Hernandez, the two receivers on the strong side of the field. Here's Garcia again with the snap, a counter. The ball again goes to number 45. That is Diego Flores with the run, and Flores gets tripped up, and he'll gain a yard only to the 24.
Here's a real critical third down here. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and about 9. Obviously, a passing down.
By the way, San Marcos won the toss pregame and elected to defer, so the Rattlers will get the ball first in the second half. Garcia looking downfield. There's the pass. It's caught by Pepe Hernandez for the touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown strike from Andy Garcia to Pepe Hernandez coming from the left side of the formation. And the Eagles have answered again. 21-20 now is the San Marcos lead.
If you can get single coverage with either Pepe Hernandez or Sebas cutting across the middle, we're going to have good results because Andres Garcia will put the ball where he needs to put it.
A sharp pass on what looked to be a poster slant there from Pepe Hernandez. The San Marcos coach is talking to one of the officials over on the far side of the field. But there are no flags on the field. The touchdown will stand. And here comes Lázaro Frausto to attempt the point after attempt. Armando Leckler is the holder. Ooh, a bad snap. Leckler had to pick it up from the ground and did a great job of holding it for his kicker, Lázaro Frausto. The kick is through and good, and we have a tie ball game, 21-all, with 5:46 left here in the second quarter. We'll be right back.
This
The Eagles will kick off from their 25-yard line. 5:46 left in the first half. Lázaro Frasto looking to kick this deep. Kick is on its way. And it is fielded at the 25-yard line. Right up the far hash mark goes number 2. And he's still on his feet before being brought down over on the far side of the field across the 45 to about the 47. Little extracurricular stuff going on the far sideline rather. But the Rattlers, Morris, have good field position. They're going to start at the 45.
And we've got to say that number 2 over on the San Marcos team has really been he's got his time of camera time this half.
Being a little chatty.
Well, not only
down
that,
on the
but he's actually handled the ball a lot.
He has got a lot of the important plays.
He's got a lot of touches
for the San Marcos Rattlers, along, of course, with Matthew Ellis, who's scored one of the touchdowns for the Rattlers. Here is the handoff to number 2, and he will come to the near side and up the near hash mark before being tripped up as he nears the 45-yard line to the 48. It's number 8, actually, with the ball, and he'll end up at the 47-yard line.
And the Eagle defense, with 5 minutes left before the end of the half, have got their work cut out. They need to stop the Rattlers and not let them in the end zone here.
The Rattlers get the ball back first in the second half. Here's a 2nd and 2 for San Marcos. They'll shift the line right, and the ball goes in the other direction. And Ellis gets hung up in the backfield, and here comes the rest of the cavalry brought down. He does manage to get back to the line of scrimmage, the 47, and it is a 3rd and 2 now.
Number 36, Luis Velasquez, did an excellent job of getting in the defensive backfield.
Somebody's down there at the 47 for San Marcos. Oh, is that Ellis?
Oh, my gosh. That's number 33.
Matthew Ellis, who's been the workhorse out of the backfield for San Marcos, and that might hurt.
He is leaving the field on his own power, but he's limping gingerly on one of his ankles.
And on this 3rd and 2, more importantly, he will not be in the backfield for the Rattlers. They'll wind the clock now. 4:34 left in the second quarter. Again, this unbalanced line comes to this side. And the handoff is to number 7. And he gets caught in the backfield trying to get the first down. And we'll see if he does. I think he's short. I think he's about a yard short at the 46. And it's going to be 4th and down for San Marcos.
The Eagle defense stuck with it. They made a hit. They spun him around. And then as he tried in vain to get the first down, a couple of Eagles came up and strung him out toward the other sideline and kept him from getting the first down.
And so on a 4th and 1, the Rattler offense will stay on the field. The Eagle defense will look to get a big 4th down stop here near midfield. The play clock's winding down for the Rattlers. They're going to call a timeout before that happens. That's their second one of the half. They'll be left with 1 at 3:36 left here in the second quarter. Eagles and the San Marcos Rattlers all tied up at 21. We'll be right back. One from the 47 6-yard line. And partner, if you believe that the Rattlers are going to punt this ball, I've got a bridge to sell you.
You think they're gonna fake this?
I think
I agree.
this is a fake. There's no return man back for the Eagles, so they agree too, and it works. The fake punt went to one of the up men near the line of scrimmage, and all he had to do was scoot for a couple of yards to get the first down, and the ball now is at the 43-yard line. 3:20 left in the second quarter in a tie ball game between the Eagles and the San Marcos Rattlers. And the Eagle defense really has to make sure that the Rattlers don't add any more points before the end of this half. Here's a carry again for number 7, right up the middle of the formation. He goes and across the 40 inside to the 39-yard line.
But 34, Devante Monsivais met him head on and held on to bring him down.
2nd and 6 from the 39 for San Marcos. Ball on the far hash mark. 2 receivers here to the near side. A wingman over on the left side of the line and one split out wide left. From the shotgun, there's the snap. Quick pass to the man on the left side of the formation. It's caught inside the 35-yard line by number 10, Miguel Reinero, with the catch. And it's a first down from the 33 for San Marcos. Man comes across the formation here to the near side. 2 receivers close to the nearest sideline. There's the snap, the fake handoff, and the slant is incomplete. Oh, that's a very late flag. That flag came in from the official about 12 yards down the field on the other side, and number 2 finally fought hard enough for his flag to get it.
He did. There was a really tight over the middle with real tight coverage, and they did call the interference this time. And Tom Gonzalez is out there almost to the right hash mark, and he's not happy about it.
Well, it was such a late flag.
Yes.
After the pass and the drop. Regardless, it is a 1st and 10 from the 33. There goes the pass into the end zone. Incomplete. The receiver fell down over on the far side. Number 2 looking for the ball.
Number 16, Jacob de los Santos, was one-on-one with him over there. And, of course, the receiver gets up and is asking for a flag. It did not happen.
They just got tripped up over there. Ball is at the 25, 2nd and 10 from there.
This quarterback's doing some really good pass action. He's faking the handoff and then throwing the ball.
Good tight coverage so far by the Eagles secondary. The Eagles are going to come on a run blitz, and number 21 is able to run right past it and get near the line to get for a first down inside the 20 to the 18.
But 21 made the initial contact, Armando Leckler over there. And this is a 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 from the 18. A minute 40 left here in the second quarter, and the Rattlers are threatening again deep in Eagle territory. From the far hash mark, quarterback into shotgun. A counter play again to number 21 out of the backfield, and he is down inside the 15 to the 16-yard line. And it's a first down for San Marcos.
So the Rattlers get a new set of downs.
Quickly to the line. There is a whistle before the play, and it's a timeout called by the Eagle defense before the play started. A minute 13 left here in the second quarter, and partner will keep it right here because it's got the potential here to get a little ugly for the Eagles. If San Marcos scores here, they're going to get the ball back first in the second half, and the Eagle defense is in a difficult position?
Well, Coach Tom Gonzalez is out there talking to the official, and he is he's stating his case over there about the interference call. He's saying, "Hey, no flags. No, the receiver gets up and starts asking for a flag, and a flag comes flying. Not even from the official that was there by the play, but from the other sideline."
The lineman over on the far side of the field with that flag. And of course, now the San Marcos coach has something to complain about as well. Very animated over on the far side of the field.
And I'm thinking what's happening is, players will go over there and tell him something. They say, "Hey, this is what's happening," and then he feels obligated to come and state his case with the official. And that referee, I would say, is very patient, to say the least.
I would, because the antics from the San Marcos head coach over on the far side of the field have been first rate in this first half. 1:13 left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers. The ball is at the 13. Here's a handoff again to number 21, who bounces left looking for an opening there, and he's shoved out of bounds over on the far side of the field. Good job there by Danny Martinez, the defensive back.
He was right there. He didn't commit early, and he drove him out of bounds on the far side.
Ball will be at the 12-yard line now.
We've got something going on here, because the coach is out there, and what he does is he comes out onto the field to call the play with 2 or 3 of his players, which is very odd.
Not something we see often. 2nd and about 8 from here, from the 12-yard line, a long 8. Ball on the far hash mark. Pass over to the far side into the end zone, and the pass falls incomplete. Good coverage there. Man-to-man defense by Walker Finlayson.
And intended for number 2.
Mm-hmm. Number 2.
Ruben, they're trying to get a lot in one-on-one coverage on number 2, and that sort of fits what they've been doing in this first half, because number 2's been really working the officials about the interference and the targeting, and so they're going to stick with it, and I'm sure that's one of the adjustments that's going to be made at halftime.
And so the strategy becomes throw one up in the air in his vicinity, and we might get a pass interference called again. Timeout on the field. I believe that's San Marcos's last timeout of the first half, rather. Mr. and Mrs. Ramon squarely in the middle of our giant scoreboard here, off to our right. I know those folks.
We're going to have to ask them for autographs.
After the game, we might, or at the very least, ask him for dinner after this game is over. 36 seconds left here in the first half, and what's been, partner, to be frank, kind of a grind out of a game as at a 7 o'clock start time.
Yep. That might be a little confusing if we say that your father-in-law and my brother-in-law is going to have to pay for dinner.
You just might have to. Ball at the 12. 3rd and 9 for the Rattlers. A tight formation, only one man spread out really wide right here to the near side. There's a man in motion. The snap. He'll look left, and the pass is batted down. Great job by Diego Villarreal of batting that ball down before it got started. He was looking for Ellis out of the backfield, and that pass falls incomplete now, and it's a 4th and 9 with 33 seconds left.
Good job by the Eagle defense. They called it just right. They blitzed right up the middle with their hands up high in the passing lane, and were able to bat it down.
This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt. There is the kick. It's on its way, And it is good. With 30 seconds exactly left in the second quarter, the Rattlers are up by 3, 24-21. After a 28-yard field goal goes through the uprights. 30 seconds left in the first half. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Here is the kickoff after that 28-yard field goal. It is fielded by Sebastian Velasquez over on the far side of the field at the 27-yard line. The Eagles will have 30 seconds in the first half to try to accomplish something, and it'll be interesting to see if they actually try to run their regular offense here. With 30 seconds left, the danger, of course, with that is if you make a mistake and you get a ball picked off, it could lead to a touchdown going the other way. And it looks like the Eagles they were in the kneel-down formation. Now they've spread out their receivers into a regular formation, 4 across the formation. Garcia drops back, giving his receivers time to get downfield. Now he's just going to step up. He's got room, still on his feet, as he nears midfield into San Marcos territory, still on his feet. Inside the 30 with 18 seconds left. They've got to call a timeout quickly. Here is the timeout finally called with 18 seconds left on the clock and the ball at the 28-yard line. An outstanding run by Andres Garcia. They'll call the timeout. It stops the clock, and it also gives them some time to get the next play call in. Great job by Andres Garcia. They were playing a prevent defense where the Rattlers nothing open downfield. And because that Rattler secondary and that second line, the linebackers were so deep in coverage, Garcia had all kinds of room. And I think he was getting ready to go down maybe at about the 45. And he saw he had more room open. So he turned down the jets and went all the way across midfield into San Marcos territory. At the 18-yard line, the Eagles are out of timeouts left now. So they've got to be careful. All the passes have got to be out towards the sideline to save a little time. The clock does stop in high school football to move the chains. So a first down will stop the clock for you momentarily. But at the very least, the Eagles, maybe about 10 or 15 more yards, are in field goal territory and can tie up the ball game before the end of the half. Here's Garcia from the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls right, has room, trying to step up. Now he's in the grasp, and he'll let the ball go over to the far sideline. I'm glad Garcia was able to do that. That's a one thing that can't happen in this situation. You can't take a sack. 10 seconds left. 8 seconds run off the clock there. And the Eagles have a 2nd and 10 from the 28. The official is asking the scoreboard operator to put a different amount of time. It's showing 10 now. They're asking him to place 5 seconds, so 5 seconds will take off. And now with 5 seconds left in the half, the Eagles will really have just one play. The clock operator's trying to get 5 seconds on the clock. Asking them to give, there are the 5 seconds now on the play clock, and that'll be enough for just one snap, really. Now the officials are going to discuss this time situation. When I looked at the clock from our vantage point here in the press box, it seemed like there were 10 seconds left, but they've run off 5 more. Coach Tom Gonzalez is asking for an explanation down there for why 5 more seconds should be run off the clock. And that is where the game clock will stay with 5 seconds, and the Eagles down essentially to their last snap of the half. 3 receivers on the far side of the formation. Andres Garcia just has to buy enough time to heave this pass into the end zone. Here comes the blitz. He's got to step up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked back here at the 35, and that's how the first half will end for the Eagles. The defensive pressure was just too much as Andres Garcia had to wait to get that pass into the end zone. And so the Eagles and the Rattlers finished the first half with San Marcos on top, 24-21. We want to mention sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jad Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabanay Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, and Choches Barbecue. Folks, it's going to be a heck of a second half. 24-21 is the San Marcos lead. We will be back for the second half of action. We will show you the mighty Eagle Band when they come onto the field. In the meantime, we'll be back for the second half of action. Rattlers 24, Eagles 21.
And now, marching onto the field with 41 years of consecutive First Division wins at UIL Marching Contest, the Mighty Eagle Band. Tonight, the Mighty Eagle Band will be performing their UIL marching show entitled Holy Human, based off of Harold Chambers' Unpaged. And is under the field direction of drum major Frankie Lopez, Abigail Delgado, and Rudy Martinez. Color guard officers are Captain Angel Vela, co-captains Naomi Villarreal and Naomi Morales. Guard of the week are Anaya Russell and Alitza Peña. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Mighty Eagle Band.
Kickoff for the second half about to be underway. There goes the kickoff from Lázaro Frausto. It's a short kick that's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line down here by a Rattler. And a good job by the Eagle coverage team because number 2, no surprise, because if he had evaded those first 2 tacklers, he had nothing but room down here. But the Rattlers are going to have good starting field position at the 36 here on the near side of the field. And partner, the Eagles made it a little interesting there towards the end of the second half. There was an inexplicable 5-second runoff on the clock, but nevertheless, here we are, 24-21, the San Marcos lead.
Begin to see the defensive adjustments that the Eagles made at halftime. I'm sure they analyzed what they were doing, and I think we're going to probably begin to see a little bit more pressure on the quarterback.
We'll see if the Eagles bring more blitzers here in the second half. Ball on the near hash mark from the shotgun. The San Marcos quarterback will hand off in the backfield, and he's got room now that he's turned the corner on the far side of the field, close to a first down there. Number 14, Tony Diaz, the wide receiver with that end around, is able to get the San Marcos Rattlers a first down. The chains are moving now as that ball will be spotted across the 45 at the 47 over on the far side of the field, and that's the first Rattler first down of the second half. The Mavericks played here last night. They welcomed in the Southwest Dragons. Mavericks lost 31-6. A quick screen to the far side of the field again to Tony Diaz, and Diaz gets into Eagle territory to the 48.
There's got to be a lot of momentum on the far side of the field. Coming in 0-4, they've had some games in which they were, to put it bluntly, they were blown out. And to, be here at the half leading by 3.
It's huge for the Rattlers, giving them a boost of confidence. They did put up a good game against Laredo Alexander last week. Quick pass caught by Diaz at the 40, and all of a sudden Tony Diaz, who, as far as we know, could have been suspended, I guess, in the first half because we didn't see him at all in the first half, and he's caught all 4 balls so far here in the second half. Another first down for the Rattlers to the 30.
That could be part of the adjustments made by the Rattlers that they figured they were going to key on number 2, and they've just moving the attention away. Now you've got number 2 and number 14, Diaz, both on the same side of the field.
Quickly to the line come the Rattlers at the 30-yard line in Eagle territory, 1st and 10. A handoff to Ellis on the counter to the right side. Flags fly from the umpire, and then some more from the referee. It's in the area of a hold.
It's either both of them solve the same thing or there's 2 fouls.
It's a chop block, I think. Oh, it's a targeting play. This is a targeting penalty against the Rattlers. It'll cost them 15 yards. The ball's going to end up over here at the 45.
That's unusual, right? For there to be a targeting called on the offense.
On offense, but we mentioned it in the first half. The game was getting a little chippy. Emotions were running high. Emotions were running very high at the end of the first half. So the penalty bug grabs the Rattlers first here in the second half. And it's a 1st and 25 from the 45. The handoff is to number 21. He's brought down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 3 yards on that play. It's going to make it 2nd and about 22 now from there.
That is a cramp by the looks on that player.
And he's having trouble just standing on it. And I think you're right, partner. It's a warm, kind of humid night, and that is when cramps strike these athletes. So number 21 will be helped off the field over on the far side, and the Rattlers will huddle quickly. You mentioned it at the first half. The head coach comes in, or offensive coordinator comes all the way near on the far side of the field, gets the play called into 2 or 3 key players for the San Marcos offense, and then they come to the line of scrimmage, which in this case is the 42. 2nd and 23 from there for the Rattlers. The Eagle defense looking to hold on. This is the Rattlers' first possession of the second half. From the shotgun, quarterback steps back. Here comes the pressure in his face, still rolling now to this side, still looking for somebody, looking to set up and pass, and the pass falls incomplete. There is a flag down there at about the 42-yard line. You always want to be careful when this is...
well, when you start scrambling, that may be an illegal receiver downfield.
It could be, or a defensive hold as they're trying to hold. And number 79 is upset at something. They're holding him back against the officials. Personal foul targeting again, I think on the same player, on 79.
That may be an ejection.
That might be. Yes, it is. And so he's gonna go off the field. Good catch there, partner. 2 of those fouls does get you ejected. Something else happened there. I think when the Eagle defender slipped in front of the quarterback pointed at him, taunted him, and said something. And Coach Tom Gonzalez made it very clear to the official that he was not happy. It happened right in front of Coach Tom. With the penalty now, the Rattlers are back in their own territory at the 43-yard line.
But it's only 2nd down.
It's one of these again where it's a bunch of 2nd downs in a row because of the penalties.
You have to be careful here that they don't get behind you. Mm-hmm. Our deep coverage has got to be good.
Here's Tony Diaz split out wide left. Number 2 over to the far side of the field. The quarterback steps back. Here comes the pressure. You mentioned it, partner. They're coming after him this time. There's a flag on the play on the far side of the field. The pass falls incomplete. That might have been in the area of a hold. That's what the adjustment seems to have been so far. Lots more pressure in the backfield on the quarterback, making him uncomfortable.
Well, that puts more pressure on your corners, and it puts more pressure on your defensive backs and your safety, because you're actually blitzing. And when you do that, your 1-on-1 coverage has got to be excellent.
This will continue to be 2nd down, and it'll be a holding penalty against the Rattlers. And the Eagles actually decline, which is the right thing to do because it turns it into 3rd down. And it is a 3rd and 37 from there for San Marcos. From the shotgun, here comes the blitzer right up the middle, and somebody moved over on the far side of the Rattler line. It's going to cost them 5 more yards. It'll be 3rd and 42 now.
Whatever the Eagle defense is doing, it's got the Rattlers rattled.
Yeah, it's got that offensive line unsettled, and you're seeing a lot of holding penalties and also a lot of these pre-snap movement penalties on the offensive line of the Rattlers.
Plus, we had a lineman ejected because of targeting.
Ball is at the 38-yard line now. 3rd and very, very long. Here comes the pressure again. They're going to set up a screen. It's incomplete. Intended for Ellis. There's an Eagle down for the time being at about the 33-yard line. They're going to ask the training staff to go out and take a look at him. One of the defensive linemen, I think, for the Eagles is down there. 9:16 left in the second quarter. They're going to take a look at that young man, and we will take a quick break and be right back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage.
Back here with you now, 9:16 left in the third quarter. Rattlers are about to punt this ball off on a first drive of the second half that started out promisingly for San Marcos and then just turned into a disaster with 2 personal fouls, a couple of holding calls, and a pre-snap foul. So now San Marcos will punt off. 2 men back here to receive for the Eagles. There is the punt on its way, and it will bounce and take a sideways roll. Pepe Hernandez and Sebas Diaz were back there to receive. Eagles are going to have good starting field position here at the 26, and the defense did exactly what it needed to do in holding up. Line of scrimmage will be the 27 down here on the near hash mark, and we'll see what the Eagle offense has ready here to start the second half. The Eagle defense down there huddles around head defensive coordinator Roger Olivas as he'll talk to them, and they've done a good job to start the second half. Here is a quick pass caught by Pepe Hernandez at the 34. Still on his feet, streaking down the sideline. No one's going to catch Pepe Hernandez. He's going to go into the end zone on one play in the second half for a huge touchdown. No flags behind him. This touchdown stands, and the Eagles have taken the lead on a 73-yard touchdown run, catch and run.
They underestimated Pepe Hernandez. The defensive back did. They didn't realize that he had breakaway speed, and they figured he was going to go out of bounds, and that proved to be a bad mistake.
Managed to keep his balance and tiptoe down here at about the 40 on the near sideline, and then he turned down the jets, and he was gone to the races. New holder for the Eagles. The extra point is blocked. They can pick it up and take it in for a 2-point conversion, can the Rattlers, but they do not. That kick is no good, and so the score stands at 27-24, just a touchdown lead now for the Eagles. I mentioned it right before the snap went off. That was Javier Barrera, the holder. The problem, of course, wasn't with the hold. Somebody just came through and blocked Lázaro Frausto's kick.
You know, that was an important extra point when you look back, because now there's only a field goal difference. So, of course, if the Eagles tack on a lot more points, that will make this a lot easier. But we've had something happen, though, that's very important. The Rattlers received, but the Eagle defense, you know, they gave a little bit at first, but then they came all out and did what they needed to do.
Absolutely, and so now the Eagles back in the lead. 27-24 is the score, and Lázaro Frausto will kick this off. There's 3 men standing at about the 25-yard line.
Of course, we have
Matthew Ellis is over there, number 2, and Tony Diaz, all of the offensive studs for San Marcos back there.
And number 2, of course.
Frausto with the kickoff. And it will be fielded by Tony Diaz. Actually bounces off his chest, picks it up at about the 10. Oh, he's got room on that far sideline. If he can get into open space, tries to hurdle a man at about the 39 and comes down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. But again, good starting field position for the Rattlers.
Good job by Tony Diaz. He took that ball and noticed the Eagle kickoff coverage, you know, coming down, and took off to the far side and did manage to cut the corner.
He saw it right when we saw it develop. Lots of room over on the right side. And now here comes the Eagle defense needing another stop. They've got the lead now, but it's only a field goal lead. From the 41 go the Rattlers. 2 men down here on the near side of the formation. One split out wide right over on the top. The counter to Ellis, and he'll pick his way through the Eagle defense, but is brought down after a gain of only a couple of yards to the 43.
You know, they are doing a lot better job in the middle, you know, containing Ellis and the running game of the Rattlers.
Those wide open lanes that we saw there in the first half aren't as available to the Rattler running backs here so far in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Rattlers. 3 men this time, all bunched up here on the near side. Here's another handoff to Ellis, who's got a blocker, and he manages to squirm out of the grasp of the Eagle defense and is still on his feet at the 30, 25, 20 before he's pushed out of bounds over on the far sideline. And just like that, the Rattlers are in the red zone over on the far side of the field, a 1st and 10 at the 20.
It took number 23 to be over there, that being Adrian Rodriguez, to finally push him out of bounds on the opposite side of the field. And like you said, just like that, the Rattlers are in extremely good field position.
Ball on the far hash mark at the 20. Here's number 2 split out wide left. Little confusion on the formation there for the Rattlers. Now the quarterback gets his men in place, takes the snap. The handoff this time is to number 7, who again has blockers out in front of him. The ball is loose over on the far side, and the Eagles have recovered it inside the 15-yard line.
Number 25 comes out of there. Isar Mauricio, cradling that football like he just won a prize, and he did. Let me tell you, ball popped out. The Eagle defense tough. Somebody made him fumble that football, and the Eagles have got the football.
Exactly what they needed in this situation. The defense comes up big for the second time in as many tries here in the third quarter. And so now the Eagle offense will start at its own 13-yard line on the far hash mark. Andres Garcia in the shotgun with 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Here's the snap, drops back to pass, looking down the middle of the field. Sebas Diaz had two defenders around him, and there are 2 flags on the play for what will probably be pass interference.
Well, that one, the official running with the play actually didn't call anything. He was calling it incomplete. And now the officials are coming over to him and saying, hey, that was pass interference. Those 2 defensive backs, I would say, kind of mugged him.
They sandwiched Sebas Diaz before he could even get a break on the ball. The football will end up over here at the 27. It'll be a first down from there on the penalty. The Eagles taking deep shots early here in the second half. We've got 7:37 left in the third quarter. Eagles are up by a field goal. Blitz coming. It gets picked up. Garcia rolls right. Lets it go far down the field again for Sebas Diaz, who again was bracketed this time by a cornerback and a safety. And nothing doing there as that pass falls incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now from the 27. I haven't seen much of a running game here. We haven't seen Kadrian Rodriguez back in the ball game since his fumble in the first half. It's been Diego Flores in the backfield with Andres Garcia here for the Eagles ever since that point in the second quarter. Here's Willie Frausto with the carry. Tries to turn the corner on the far side. Gets maybe a couple of yards. They'll mark him down at the 33 for a 6-yard gain. And now it's going to be 3rd and 6, 4-yard gain there. And it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Ball's at the 32. Andres Garcia all by himself in the Eagle backfield. Drops back. Now steps up. There's a pass. Incomplete. Intended there at about the 35-yard line for Sebas Diaz. And the San Marcos defense is held on this drive, and out will come the Eagle punting unit.
The Eagles are working those little short passes out in the flats and over the middle, and I think they're just trying to set up one-on-one coverage to maybe go deep. And, of course, Andres Garcia has got an arm for that, but the Eagle defense is going to have to go back on the field here and do a good job. We need a really good punt here.
Let's see if the Eagle punter can get one off. There's 2 men back here to receive, Tony Diaz and someone else. That's Willie Frausto with the punt. It is headed towards Diaz, and then it takes a Rattler bounce here at about the 45-yard line, and the Rattlers are going to start at the 46, again in good starting field position with 6:42 left in the third quarter.
The Eagles holding on to a 3-point lead here, 27-24 here in the third quarter.
Diego Villarreal and Isar Mauricio are having a heck of a game down there on the defensive line for the Eagles, and we'll see if they can keep pressuring here on this drive by the Rattlers.
You know, I thought I see a 79 down there. Was that not the ejection?
I thought it was. There's a 79. There was a 79 and a 78. And somebody just pancaked an Eagle down there. That was number 33, Antonio Paniagua, who, in my estimation, got held, but there are no flags. And the result of the play is here to the 49-yard line. A 3-yard gain there, 2nd and 7 coming up with 6.5 or so minutes left here. The clock stops as the running back went out of bounds. The ball is on the near hash mark at the 49-yard line. The Rattler quarterback is going to have 3 receivers over to the right side of the formation, the far side of the field. Here is a keeper by the quarterback, and he's got room in front of him if he wants to run. Dives head first across midfield to the 49-yard line where he's brought down. And it brings up a 3rd and about 6 now.
This is critical 3rd down here. The Eagle defense needs to hold here. About 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but this would be really help the Eagles' momentum if they can keep them from getting a first down here.
This is an important play. You've got Walker Finlayson matched up one-on-one with Tony Diaz down here on the left side. You got to look to see if they're coming that way. That's exactly where the quarterback is looking, and he's got a step on Finlayson, and that ball goes in and out of his hands. There's a flag or 2 back here. The referee is hatless, and that's because he threw his flag first, saw another penalty, and then had nothing left to throw, so he threw his hat at about the 45-yard line.
If that pass was thrown over the wrong shoulder, and that's why he didn't make the catch, but they did have 2 steps on our defense.
Holding call against San Marcos is declined, and then there's a personal foul against San Marcos. We've seen more than a couple of those against the Rattlers today.
Like I was telling you, it's probably getting pretty testy down there. A lot of talking, going back and forth with officials, all of that. When players sort of get into the game that way, it becomes very difficult to, stay in control of a football game.
Sure. And that seems to be what's happening with the San Marcos Rattlers. They face a 3rd and 20 now from the 36-yard line. Again, from the shotgun, the quarterback will take the snap, looks left again, looking for Diaz. Diaz is not open, and that pass is caught by number 2 at midfield. He heads upfield, and he's going to have a first down on 3rd and 20. The Rattlers convert as number 2 comes across the field, started on the right side, came all the way across, and it's a first down for the Rattlers at the 43-yard line.
And credit is due. Number 2 ran an excellent pattern and cut across the field. And, of course, they hit him just right where they needed to put the football.
And so the ball is at the 43. The Rattlers will continue this drive from there. 5:07 showing here into 3rd quarter. Here's a handoff. Number 21 back on the field, gets north and south, and he's brought down inside the 35 at the 33-yard line, and that's good enough for a Rattler first down.
Number 21 actually is trying to find where to run, and it didn't really get going full speed, and then just lunged forward enough to get the first down.
It's 1st and 10 for the Rattlers from the 33. Here on the near hash mark, and the Eagle defense all of a sudden is on its heels again after it looked like they had this drive well in hand. 4:22 left in the 3rd quarter. Eagles clinging on to a 27-24 lead. Here's Ellis with the ball, bounces right after heading to the left side of the line. The ball is on the ground I don't know if they're going to call Ellis down. That looks like what they're doing. And Ellis is down inside the 30 at the 28.
Number 34, Devante Monsiváis actually came up with a football, but they say he was down before the ball came loose.
And so a 2nd and 5 now for the Rattlers from the 28-yard line. They'll substitute some personnel. Ellis goes off the field. Number 21 comes in to replace him. Tony Diaz is down here matched up again one-on-one with Walker Finlayson. That was a matchup that the Rattlers tried to exploit just a couple of plays ago. Here's another counter play to the running back number 21. There is a flag on the play, and the running back is down at the 26, but this is in the area of holding, and that's exactly what the call is. Be 10 yards from the previous spot. They will play 2nd down again. San Marcos likes to commit penalties on 2nd down for some reason. They're, of course, not that they like to do that, but that's where they've all been happening is on 2nd down. Ball here is at the 38, where it's a 2nd and 15. 3:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. The Rattler quarterback in the shotgun. Quarterback looks left, nothing open there. We'll go right now. There's a flag on the play, and I think there was a Rattler holding right as the quarterback tried to turn the corner.
On the corner, he had a lot of green over there. And then I think he pretty much saw the penalty. So he pretty much said, hey, I just better go out of bounds and no need to get hit.
That's right. It is another hold against the Rattlers. And that ball will end up now over here near midfield at the 48, where it'll be 2nd down again, the 3rd 2nd down of this drive. Now, number 79 has been ejected from the ball game. I think he tried to come back and play, and they caught it. Or there's another penalty because now the ball is all the way over here. In any case, now number 79 has left the ball game for good. We think
he's still in the ball game, isn't he?
Oh, there he is.
He's still there.
I could have sworn I saw the official make the sign for an ejection, but in any case, the ball is over here in San Marcos territory at the 37. This is an oddly played game because
I think what the San Marcos coach does is that when he sees 79 have situations like that, he pulls them.
Yeah, then is able to come back on the field. Here's a 2nd and very long for the Rattlers. Quarterback rolling to his left, lets the pass go, and it flutters out of bounds and incomplete.
You had number 79 back there trying to protect his quarterback, but you had number, I think it was 25, who 25 is, of course, Isar Mauricio, who just kept spinning and coming around him and then putting pressure on the quarterback.
Didn't allow him to get comfortable and set before throwing. 2:49 left in the 3rd quarter. This is a 3rd and 42 for the Rattlers, at least the 2nd time that they've had a 3rd and that long in this 2nd half. Ball's at the 37. You always like to say it, partner, this is where you've got to make sure no one gets behind you. You know that they're going to, this is actually just a handoff to Ellis, and Ellis will get whatever yards he can get as he nears the 45. He's brought down at the 44, and on 4th down, the Rattlers will punt it away.
You know, the Rattlers have had some unusual offensive possessions here. When you look at that, at the 1st down marker over at the Eagle 23, and the line of scrimmage now is at the Rattler 43.
This is the 2nd or 3rd time in this ball game that they've just kept going backwards because of penalties. Sebas Diaz and Pep Hernandez are back here at about their own 25-yard line waiting to receive. Punt is on its way. It's a good one. They've got good hang time. Sebas Diaz will field it at the 20. He gets north and south at about the 30-yard line and finally comes out of bounds at the 35.
Number 11, Diaz, heads over to the Eagle sideline and gets out of bounds. And a defender go right by him and sort of nudge him a little bit, and he was very smart about it. Held his hands up high and said, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm not doing anything."
He kept his cool, and as he was holding up his hands, he had the ball in one hand, and number 16 for San Marcos came and just batted it away from his hands. Ball is at the 36. That's where the Eagles will start. Andres Garcia, I believe that's Cadrian Rodriguez with him in the backfield, has three receivers all bunched up here. Now that is a keeper by Garcia. Now he gets north and south. He's got room, and he's only got one man to beat, headed towards the end zone. Jukes that man still on his feet, and he will be brought down at the 15-yard line. Andres Garcia with the quarterback keeper faked the handoff to Diego Flores and then just found good running room on the right side of the formation, and the Eagles are all the way down here at the 15.
You know, Andres Garcia returned from his injury with that brace on his left knee. And as he broke downfield, he kind of tried to hurdle over the defender. And here go the Eagles.
Garcia from the shotgun. This time he'll hand off to Cadrian Rodriguez. Rodriguez follows his lead blocker to the 13. They'll mark him down at the 12, a gain of 3 yards there. 2nd and 7 now for the Eagles from the 12. The third quarter is winding down. We've got 1:10 left now in the third quarter. The Eagles holding on to a 3-point lead, 27-24. Garcia takes the shotgun snap, avoids the blitz, and now he's got a bunch of room on the left side, still on his feet, puts his head down at the 5, and he'll be brought down at the 4-yard line, an 8-yard gain that gets the Eagles a 1st and goal at the 4. They had him dead to rights in the backfield, and Garcia evaded that blitzer, bounced left, and then found plenty of running room over there. Eagles have 48 seconds left in the third quarter. The coaching staff is down here. They're waiting for them to wind the play clock.
Garcia is actually coming off the field, and I don't know what's going to happen here.
I think it was a helmet issue. He had to come off the field, and now Javier Barrera will be in at quarterback.
Got plenty of time on the play clock, and let's see what's going to happen here. Javier Barrera is trying to get his play in, and he's down. They're going to call a timeout here.
They will call a timeout as there was a little bit of offensive confusion down there for the Eagles. It's the first timeout of the half. 25 seconds left in the third quarter, and we'll be right back. The Eagles from the 4, that timeout allowed Andres Garcia to come back into the ball game. Garcia looks right, lets the pass go, and it's caught by Willie Frausto for a 4-yard touchdown strike. A beautiful little inside hitch there for Willie Frausto that gets the Eagles 6 more points. And now we'll see if the Eagles are going to go for 2 in lieu of that missed extra point. They will not. Lázaro Frausto's coming back out for the point after attempt.
So that puts it at 33-24, if my math is correct.
For the moment, pending this point after attempt by Lázaro Frausto to make it a 10-point lead. Armando Leckler back in as the holder on this play. And that kick is up and good. The score now, Eagles 34, Rattlers 24. And with 21 seconds left in the third quarter, we'll take a short break and be right back. .21 seconds left in the third quarter. Lázaro Frausto will kick off after that touchdown strike from Andres Garcia to Willie Frausto. And Andres Garcia has now thrown 4 touchdowns in this game. 2 to Sebastián Diaz, 1 to Willie Frausto, and 1 to Pepe Hernandez. Kickoff is on its way. They're going to let that just sit there for a while before Tony Diaz comes and picks it up. And he's able to get some good yardage over on the far sideline. He'll be taken out of bounds at the 28.
You're exactly correct. That looked kind of unusual that the ball hit and sort of just died there. Didn't even roll or nothing, laying on its side. And he kind of looked at it for a while, and then he said, hey, you know what? I better pick this ball up.
You talked about it in the previous possession, but San Marcos has brought an unusual brand of football here to Eagle Pass. Don't quite know what to make of this team, but certainly they're giving the Eagles a good fight here tonight. The Eagles now, of course, have a 34-24 lead. 10-point lead here in the third quarter. And here comes Ellis trying to follow his blockers on the right side of the line, but he'll get maybe a yard to the 29.
Number 7 and 24. Number 7, Gunner Caballero, and number 24, 34 was there to make the tackle. That was Devante Monsivais.
That'll be the final play of the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here for you as they'll switch sides of the field quickly.
And the Eagles have responded in the second half, both defensively and offensively, after becoming going into halftime 3 points down.
Yeah, they've done exactly what they needed to do defensively. They've caused a turnover and then held that what in the first half was a high-powered Rattler offense here in the second half to no points.
You know, I agree with what you said earlier. You look over at the far sideline and you don't really see that many guys in white jerseys over there. So obviously there's a lot of them over there going two-way, playing Ironman football. And when that happens, you know, as you get later into a ball game, it begins to catch up with you.
It does, especially in this kind of heat and with this kind of humidity. That'll happen. So the ball now at the 29-yard line, a 2nd and 9 for the Rattlers.
And we're out tonight, aren't we, here in our broadcasting booth, because our air conditioner is on the blink.
We've got a couple of cracks in the windows here. Not cracks, but we've got the window cracked open a bit. That pass is, nearly intercepted at about the 37-yard line. The linebacker, Devante Monsivais, almost had that ball in his hands.
And that is, again, the intended receiver, number 2, who gets up limping, a slight limp as he heads over to the opposite side.
And this time, bracketed. Double coverage around him there. They are not leaving him in single coverage in the second half. One of those key defensive adjustments that you mentioned, partner, for the Eagle defense. This will be a 3rd and 9 now from the 29-yard line for the Rattlers. Ball on the near hash mark. Quarterback into shotgun formation. Drop back to pass. Looks right. Looking for Diaz. That pass is caught at the 38-yard line, and that's just good enough for a Rattler first down.
The Eagle coaching staff trying to say he didn't catch that. He was out of bounds, but the other official came over and sort of reassured his fellow official that he did come down with at least 1 foot.
And it was an outstanding catch. That ball was taking Diaz out of bounds, and he managed to keep a foot in for that completion. Ball is at the 38-yard line. On the near hash mark, the San Marcos quarterback into shotgun, takes the snap. The handoff is to number 21. He's got some room up the middle of the formation, and he gets a head of steam, finally brought down at the 45. A gain of 7 yards there.
Number 33, Anthony Paniagua, comes up and grabs him by the shoelaces.
About 11 and a half minutes left here in the final quarter of play. The Rattlers are on the move. The Eagle defense looking to hold them here in the fourth quarter. Here's a handoff to Ellis again. Bounces right. He's got running room. He's at midfield, gets north and south. There's a flag back here, and that was a heavy collision towards the end of that play down here. The ball came loose. San Marcos was able to fall on it, but this is a hold that's going to bring it back against the Rattlers. And so they'll replay, guess which down? Second down. After that penalty, ball is now at the 35.
Walker Finlayson was there with all that contact, and he came up sort of favoring one of his arms, but he's shaking it off and staying in the ball game.
Walker Finlayson has an important job, or has had an important job here in the second half, covering Tony Diaz. Diaz is on the far side of the field now. He's actually in the backfield as a decoy. On this carry, the running back will be brought down at the 40. It's number 36, Xavier Lara, with the carry, and the ball is at the 41.
Number 15 there with the tackle, Diego Rodriguez.
So there's a 3rd and 7 now from the 41-yard line, and the Rattlers are moving a little quicker now as time is winding down in the fourth quarter. 10:38 left in the ball game. The Eagles have a 10-point lead. Here is a pass caught at midfield over on the far sideline by Tony Diaz, and Diaz has a Rattler first down and is in the Eagle territory at the 49.
Number 2, Walker Finlayson, just like you said, was right there to make the tackle and take him out of bounds.
He's been shadowing him all game long. Diaz has gotten the better of him on a couple of occasions, but wasn't able to come down with anything there. Here's a handoff to number 21. Has room as he gets north and south. A very deliberate running style for both of these running backs. They face the sideline, and then they make a very sharp turn to go north and south. This time number 21 up the far hash mark comes near a first down to the 40. It'll be a 2nd and 9 from there.
Number 36, Luis Velasquez, was there to make the tackle for the Eagles.
2nd and 1. Here's a handoff to Ellis, who gets met at the line of scrimmage, but is able to move the pile past the first down marker to the 37.
The 42, Diego Villarreal, was there to make the initial contact.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers from the 37-yard line. 9:34 left in the ball game as the Rattlers come to the line. The quarterback is into shotgun. Going to put number 2 in motion, and now we've got a timeout called by the Rattlers. Something didn't look right to them there on that offensive formation. 9:24 left in the ball game. Eagles have a 10-point lead, and we'll be right back. First and 10 for the Rattlers from the 37-yard line. From the far hash mark, man in motion out of this side, the near side of the formation. And a handoff to number 21, who's got a little room there before it closes up just inside the 35 at the 34.
With 33, Anthony Paniagua was there to make the initial contact and help bring him down.
2nd and 7 now for the Rattlers. Eagle defense looking to bend but not break here late in the fourth quarter.
You know, you were mentioning about how the quarterback for the Rattlers takes a snap, then he holds it out in front of him, and the handoff is always running laterally.
Mm-hmm.
And then they try to cut north and south, like you mentioned.
It's a unique running style that both of the running backs have. There it is. This time, though, it's Tony Diaz with the ball. He tries to swing wide to turn the corner, gets past a couple of defenders, and is finally pushed out of bounds at the 20. But that's a Rattler first down in the red zone now with about 8:35 left in the fourth quarter. The Rattlers still showing signs of life.
Well, I think the Rattlers are running the football, and when they have success like that, then that sets up their passing game.
We'll see if the quarterback tries to move something downfield now. Tony Diaz and number 2 together here on the short side of the field. Diaz now goes in motion to the far side. There goes Walker Finlayson with him. Short pass in and out of the grasp of number 2. There on the coverage was Adrian Rodriguez. And on the incompletion, the clock stops. 2nd and 10 from the 20 with 8:32 left in the fourth quarter. Mavericks took a loss here last night against Southwest, 31-6. We will be covering the Maverick game next week up in Castroville at Medina Valley, where the Mavericks will travel. Eagles will be open. The snap, the handoff to Ellis to the short side of the field. He's got room to roam there. He'll make it very close to the first down marker. I think they're going to give it to him at the 10 before being pushed out of bounds on the near sideline, and it's a first and goal there from the Rattlers.
So now the ball at the 10, right at the 10-yard line, and the Rattlers have 4 downs to try to get it into the end zone, and, of course, the Eagle defense here must rise to the occasion.
San Marcos is down by 10. You wonder if they can't make it in. They might take the 3 points first and then try to get the ball back in this game. Here's another handoff to Ellis. Right up the middle he goes this time, and he gets stood up by the Eagle defense down there.
34 and 33 there to make the tackle. Anthony Paniagua and Devante Monsivais met him head on, actually for, well, no gain.
No yards gained. The ball is still at the 10. New running back comes in now. Ellis heads off the field. Number 36 will be in the backfield. Xavier Lara with the quarterback. Tony Diaz will also be in the backfield. Lara's actually at the end of the line in the tight end formation. Quick handoff to Perez, who's going to try to turn the corner on the far side.
There it is.
And he'll get very close, but there is a hold at about the 9.
Big number 79 was right there and right in front of the official, and he hooked him is what he did, trying to hold the block. Really good when you have binoculars.
You're able to see that clearly down on the field. So were the officials. There's the hold. It'll be 10 yards from there.
You know, not much of a discussion from the coaching staff on that far side. So obviously the penalty was very obvious.
Ball is on the 18. That penalty coming on 2nd down. 7:39 left in the ball game, and the Rattlers trying to make this score closer. The Eagles have a 34-24 lead at this moment. 3 men in the backfield. He'll put someone in motion. That's number 22, Stephen Stennett. He'll look that way, pump fakes once, asking for someone to go downfield. There's a pass, and it's intercepted at the 7-yard line Number 34 comes up with it. Devante Monsivais with the interception and a ball that just fluttered and stayed up in the air, Morris, and that's exactly what the Eagle defense needed to do here.
What made the play is that they flushed out the quarterback, and as he was rolling, he actually threw across the field because they flushed him out to the near side, and what ended up happening there is he was right there in the middle of the two as he just threw it up, just like you mentioned.
And so the Eagles will take over after the third turnover of the game for San Marcos at their own 8-yard line with 7:28 left. Quick pass to Willie Frausto. Willie Frausto can beat this man. He can be off to the races. He gets pulled down from behind as he crosses the 15 to the 16-yard line.
And pretty close, short of the first down. It's about 2 yards short.
Yeah. 2nd and 2 from the 16, and the Eagles now, of course, are in no particular hurry to get their plays off with a 10-point lead late in the fourth quarter.
You know, the Eagle band was playing there right before the interception, and, you know, I saw something very unusual, replays on ESPN one day, that the official called timeout because the opposing band was playing too loud, and that just caught my attention.
Painted Black was the song being played by the Mighty Eagle Band right before that interception. Here's a keeper by Andres Garcia. He's going to have a first down to the 19.
But honestly, have you ever heard of an official actually calling timeout and telling the band to stop playing because they're making too much noise?
I've seen sideline warnings, but I've never seen that. And that's kind of the point of a band at some point,
yes,
is to make enough noise to bother the opposition. 6:25 left in the ball game. The Eagles taking their time before each snap. The ball's at the 19, and the Eagles have a fresh set of downs. Andres Garcia still in the ball game. Diego Flores in the backfield with him. Here's a snap. Here comes the blitz. Flores takes the handoff, and he manages to squirt through the first line of defenders and get some good yardage all the way to the 23-yard line.
You can rest assured the Eagles here are going to try to get to short third downs, as I guess the best way I want to put it. They need to get enough on first and second down to where if they don't have to throw the football, they won't.
5:28 left in the ball game. Slowly to the line come the Eagles. Still 9 seconds showing on the play clock. Garcia takes the snap. Again, the keeper for him. Up the middle he goes, but they'll stand him up at the line of scrimmage. You'll lose a yard actually to the 22. And it'll be a third down and long now for the Eagles.
5 minutes and counting here. The Eagles with a 10-point lead.
34-24. The Eagles came out at halftime down 24-21. And they've done a good job here in the second half of adding enough points on the board to hopefully have put this game away. 3rd and 7, 4:36 left in the ball game. Here is a quick pass caught by Sebas Diaz, and Diaz has running room in front of him at the 40-45 midfield, streaking down the far side. Now he's going to cut up, and he has nothing but green in front of him into the end zone. Sebas Diaz on a 78-yard touchdown catch and run.
What a nice move. They hit him over here on the left hash mark toward us, and he took down the field. Then he cut across the field, and when he's getting about the 20, where he was getting some defenders converging on him, he just slipped in between them and changed his direction, came back to the center of the field.
It's a hat trick for Sebas Diaz. That's the third touchdown, the third connection between Andres Garcia and Sebastian Diaz. Here comes Leckler out to hold. That's why Leckler hadn't been holding earlier. Comes out with a bit of a limp, but he's able to hold there for Lázaro Frausto on the point after attempt. High snap, but the hold is good, and the kick is no good. And so the score will remain Eagles 40, Rattlers 24 with 4:19 left in the ball game. We'll be right back. Lázaro Frausto now will kick off after that 78-yard touchdown catch and run from Andres Garcia to Sebas Diaz. We'll have some score updates for you from around the area. Get those for you here in just a second. There is the kick on its way. It'll be fielded by Ellis and then tosses it back to Diaz, who actually has a little running room there. Still on his feet at the 30. Stiff arms a man as he nears the 35. Now will be taken out of bounds as he nears the 45-yard line.
Well, we got a couple of barn burners here. Divine and Uvalde at 28-24. Divine. Look at Carrizo and Crystal. 25-23. Carrizo leading.
In the Eagles district, LBJ beat La Jolla 49-7. Weslaco and Laredo United tied at 7. Midland Christian beat Del Rio 37-24. Line of scrimmage is the 46 here. Back to pass as the quarterback. Now rolls out left, still looking for room to pass. There's a pass, and it is incomplete over on the far side of the field.
And you could literally say he was pretty much running for his life.
He was.
Going to the far side of the field and finally managed to set up and got hit as he threw the football, got up a little slow.
That's United South against Weslaco. Battle of Panthers there, tied at 7. And Laredo United is losing to Harlingen right now, 35-30. And the Bulldogs against Mission, Laredo Alexander against Mission, all tied up at 40 down there in Laredo. Here, waiting for the snap, is the San Marcos quarterback. Again, he'll drop back to pass. Nothing to do but that now. A screen pass caught eventually by the running back number 21, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage, the 46.
Wow, Sotomayor over Holmes, 39-7. Coach Morales, Coach Mo there, taking over a brand new program, maybe the second or third year, and has really brought it around.
I want to say good hello to Kathy and Tony Castañeda. Their son, Rod Herrera, is a band director there at Holmes High School. And also to Mr. and Mrs. Lugo. Danny Lugo is a band director there at Holmes also. Here is a catch by number 8, still on his feet as he goes inside the 30 to the 29.
Really fine pass over the middle. Caught it in traffic and managed to hold on.
Line of scrimmage now is the 30. First down from there. Being told in my ear that Danny Lugo is now director of music at Northside ISD.
Wow.
20-yard line here on that pass. Another first down for the Rattlers, who are on the move now with 3 minutes exactly showing on the clock. The clock stops for the flags to move, for the first down markers to move. And from the 20 come the Rattlers now. Shotgun snap. Quarterback drops back. Heaves a pass over to the far sideline. And the journalist in me won't allow me to be incorrect, and so I want to make sure I get the right correction. Daddy Lugo is the fine arts coordinator at Edgewood ISD. Our congratulations to him. 2:50 left here in the fourth quarter.
You know, one of our prediction, Pearsall and Lytle. Pearsall 33-7 over Lytle. Coach Graff is a happy camper.
Certainly is. 2nd and 10 down here for the Rattlers. Pass is caught by number 2 over on the far side inside the 10-yard line at the 8. And it'll be a 1st and goal for the Rattlers.
Here's one from the Maverick District. Southside has beaten Medina Valley 21-17.
We will be in Medina Valley next week on Friday to bring you the game between the Mavericks and the Panthers. Here's a handoff to Ellis, who's trying to bounce around and is brought down at the 11-yard line. Loss of 3 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal from there. And
here's another one, Laredo Martin 30 and South San 7.
The Martin Tigers with a good performance in San Antonio. Timeout called by the Rattlers here with 2:33 left in the game. Partner, this is the point in the broadcast where we consult with each other on our college teams. Who are the Texas A&M Aggies playing tomorrow?
I think the Aggies are playing Auburn.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a tough one.
That'll be interesting.
And who are your Missouri Tigers playing?
Battle of Tigers tomorrow. We're playing Memphis. Of course,
Missouri's doing well.
We're 3-0. I'd give us a top 25 vote after beating number 15 Kansas State last week on a game-winning 61-yard field goal by Grant Mevis.
61 yards. That's big time.
It's big time for our man, Mr. Mevis, the thicker kicker there in Columbia, Missouri. I want to say hi to all the folks there in Columbia. 2:39 left here in the ball game. The 2nd and goal from the 11 for the Rattlers. There goes a pass into the end zone, caught by Tony Diaz for the touchdown. And so the Rattlers will add 6 more points there. The score now will be 40-30 for the meantime, with a point after attempt coming for San Marcos. We want to welcome a guest here in our booth. Ana Valadez has joined us atop Cozumel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Is she going to sing? Not yet.
2:36 left. We'll keep that for another broadcast some other time. I think the Rattlers will go for 2 here to make it an 8-point ball game, and they have done just that. That pass caught by number 8 for the Rattlers, Fabian Castañeda, and it is now an 8-point game. Eagles 40, Rattlers 32. And partner, with 2:36 left, would you expect an onside kick here from San Marcos?
I would almost bet on it.
We'll see if the Rattlers line up in an onside formation here and try to get possession of the ball. It could make things interesting if they do here. The Eagle special teams has to be very careful on this onside kick that they retain possession of the football, or the Rattlers could put a scare in them, down only by 8 points. 2:36.
That's an integral part of special teams. When you have a situation like that, well, you put what you call your good hands people out there.
That's right. Put your wide receivers out there, your running backs, anybody who's got, like you say, a good pair of hands on the front line of your onside kick defense. Ball is teed up at the 40. And San Marcos will kick this off with 2:36 left. The Rattlers have one timeout left in the second half. Here is the onside attempt, and it is fielded well over on the far side of the field. We'll get a number for you on who fielded that. That was Pepe Hernandez who was there ready to do that. You called it, partner. You put your good hands team on there, and Pepe Hernandez, one of the most sure-handed receivers for the Eagles, was there to pick up that kick off the ground, and the Eagles will start at the 49-yard line now with 2:35 left. And the Rattlers can only stop the clock once now from here on out. Here's a keeper by Andres Garcia. Up the middle he goes with 2:35, 2.5 minutes left. Got to be careful not to get Andres Garcia injured again this late in the ball game.
With 1:20 left in the fourth quarter, a game that we looked at the prediction show. We do have a man down, by the way, and he's a Rattler. But Austin Westlake and Lake Travis, it's Westlake leading that 20-14 with just about 1:22 left. And that's going to be an interesting finale to that game.
See how that ends up. Again, next week, we will be in Castroville for a game between the Mavericks and Medina Valley. The week after that, we will be in Laredo on a Thursday for the game between the Eagles and Alexander. And the Mavericks against Cigarroa the week after that.
Well, the Eagles are open next week.
Mm-hmm.
They will get 2 weeks to heal and recover, and that's going to be good. That's right before they start district.
They'll kick off district against Alexander. Man in motion here. Little tosses to Willie Frausto. Tries to turn the corner at the 45 and goes out of bounds as he nears the 40.
He got a little coaching staff telling him, hey, you forgot.
We're trying to run out the clock here.
Stay in bounds. And he knew it because when he went out of bounds, he just sort of put his hands up and said, oh.
Mental mistake there as it nears 10 o'clock here. And still 2 minutes left in the ballgame, and the clock does stop because Willie Frausto went out of bounds.
He couldn't have done it any better. It's exactly 2 minutes. Huh?
Like a 2-minute warning in the NFL.
Like a 2-minute warning, yes.
Here's Diego Flores with the carry now, and he'll get inside the 40 to the 39 before being brought down.
Now, what is interesting here is that it is this is second down now. And San Marcos has still got one timeout.
Choosing not to use it here. I think just want to pack up and head home.
You think so?
The Eagles will. I do believe so. I think the Eagles will make it back-to-back victories against the Rattlers, who, without needing to mention it on air, had some personnel issues, or I guess you could call them. And UIL violations that they're having to deal with. Here's a ball that goes over the head of Andres Garcia. That's a very dangerous play because if the Rattlers had recovered there, they still would have had one timeout left to go down the field. They are only down by 8.
So this is third down now.
And the Rattlers now will use their last timeout. You were right, partner. They were being strategic about when to use that timeout. They use it now with 1:06 left, and the Eagles are in a 3rd and long situation. Ball is at the 41. The ball is actually over here at the 47-yard line after that loss. And so the Eagles have a 3rd and long from there. You'd think that the Eagles are going to just put this on the ground and with the Rattlers unable to get any time off the clock, or with unable to call a
Stop the
timeout,
clock.
then they might have just a couple of seconds if the Eagles don't get this first down here. Here comes Frausto in motion. The carry is by Diego Flores, and he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage at the 47. And now the Rattlers have no ability to call a timeout, but there will be maybe about 12 seconds or so left on the clock by the time
Eagles
the Rattlers get their hands on this punt. They're going to make it interesting for sure all the way here to the end of the game. There's about a 12-second difference or so between the play clock and the game clock. The Eagles do have 2 timeouts left. They might use one of them as the play clock expires here. And I believe that's what head coach Tom Gonzalez is getting ready to do down on the field. There is the timeout called as the play clock neared 1 second. And now there are 14 seconds left on the clock. The Eagles will punt.
Now you look back at down here when he didn't stay in bounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't really want to keep looking back at that, but sometimes little things like that make big difference, especially late in ball games.
And in a game like this, it's been tight all the way to the end. The Eagles had a 10-point lead for most of the fourth quarter, but after the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, the Rattlers have narrowed it down to 40-32. The Eagles will punt this off. Willie Frausto will punt it off. There's no return man back there for the Rattlers. They haven't wound the clock yet. And the Eagles will use another timeout here, back-to-back timeouts. You can't. Well, that's what the call was from the official, but there is no timeout. And Frausto waits the snap to get this punt off. The Rattlers came after him on a punt block attempt. That ball is going to keep rolling, and the Eagles need to not touch that until it absolutely stops on its own. They do that, and they do that. That happens with 2 seconds left on the clock. And so the final play of the game will be some kind of either Hail Mary or hook and lateral from the Rattlers. Good job. Great punt, by the way, by Willie Frausto there, pinning them down at the 18. And, partner, we are about to look, barring a defensive penalty, at the last play of this game.
And with 2 seconds, you're probably going to see the Eagles are going to blanket this field with their defensive secondary. Nobody's going to get behind them. But I think we're going to see a bunch of laterals here.
Mm-hmm. Try to keep the play alive. The Eagle defensive backs standing over here at midfield.
There's only 3 men down.
Only 3 down linemen for 1 down lineman, really 3 rushers for the Eagles. Cesar Mauricio is one of those down there. And we're going to see how far the San Marcos quarterback can heave this football. Nope, like you said, it's a quick one to Tony Diaz. He's going to try to find some running room and then lateral it to the quarterback. It takes a hop to him. He's got it now, moving this way, looking to throw it behind him. It's picked up there by a Rattler.
Oh.
That, I don't believe, is a backward pass, but in any case, there's a flag, a bunch of flags down there. And I think, for now, the Eagles have won this game, but we're going to wait and see what this call is from the official.
Eagle coaches getting their players collected and back over here. We do have, we do have an injury to one of the Rattlers.
It's a running back number 21 who had a cramp earlier.
And then hopefully that's all that is, because they've got plenty of football to play.
The call is an illegal forward pass against San Marcos. The Eagles, of course, will decline that. And this game is over. The Eagles come out with the victory 40-32 as the teams meet at midfield. Eagles move their record to 4-1 in season, still not in district play. Again, the Eagles will be open next week to get ready for their first district game against Alexander. UNI partner will be in Castroville next Friday for that game against Medina Valley for the Mavericks, who are looking for their first win of the season. We want to thank sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valde Becker Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Chad Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabanny Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choch's Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Mello, State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates, and on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Center, we want to thank Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, and Choch's Barbecue for their patronage. We will be at Ancita Ford this coming Wednesday for the Eagle Pass Sports Central Prediction Show, where we'll talk to both coaches from the Mavericks and the Eagles. Again, the Eagles looking forward to a week of rest after this game. Final score from here, Eagles 40, San Marcos Rattlers 32. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., our audiovisual engineer, Cristina Valadez, and everyone at Eagle Pass Sports Central, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.